you mentioned the money and local. That's why we do it. We talk all the time about payroll. To some people, the payroll, it's hard to deal with. I love seeing the big numbers because I know how much of that I'm stuffing back into the local economy that's around me.
Yeah.
And all the employees
really well.
and 125 employees. Even this business out here this year is going to do over $1 million in tip pool.
Yeah.
That makes us tick because that's the number
Yeah.
we look at and go, that we could care less about anything else other than the community that we've built, whether it's our employees or those around us that come in on a regular basis and say, hey, thank you. I can't tell you how many people said thank you for doing this and what you do so we can come in and, of course, experience a night out. That means more to us. Once again, what we set out to do was create an experience. That feels good.
This episode made possible by Restaurant Systems Pro. What up, Unstoppables? We have a great episode today, but real quick, we want to invite you to make the most important investment of your life. It's not a secret. There's no smoke and mirrors. I'm not even trying to pull a fast one on you. I'm going to be pretty straightforward. The best investment you can make in your life is in yourself. And the best way to invest in yourself is by investing in your network, putting time and energy, surrounding yourself with the best. You are the average of those you surround yourself with. In that Restaurant Unstoppable network, I made it easy. Over the past 12 years and 1,200 plus episodes, I've been researching and talking to people and trying to figure out how do you become successful in the restaurant industry. And I've curated a network of tools, services, technologies, and individuals, experts that I would go to tomorrow if I'm opening a restaurant. And I'm bringing you to that network with live events, whether it be a workshop, a mentoring session, a power hour, or access to me twice a month where I just listen and steer you in the right direction, all happening at Restaurant Unstoppable Network. Head over to restaurantunstoppable.com/live. You also get this amazing access to all the recordings, RU Network podcast, which includes bonus ad-free and early release content. It also gives you access to our Unstoppable bot. It is a custom AI agent that is fed with 1,200 plus transcripts, over 2,400 hours of transcripts plus bonus content, all cross-referenced with our database. This is a powerful AI tool that you also get access to as well. What are you waiting for? Head over to restaurantunstoppable.com/live and we'll see you there. With excitement, allow me to introduce to you today's guests, owners of Relish Restaurant and Bar, Addie and Dustin Teague. Addie, Dustin, are you two feeling unstoppable today?
Absolutely.
Every day.
Yeah.
I love it. I can't wait to get in. But real quick, who are we talking to? Paint the picture. How many locations? How many seats? What is your percent profit and prime cost? Just kind of get that out there.
Okay, so we have two concepts, two relishes. One is a little under 5,000 square feet. The other one's a little over 4. I think we have a total of 125 employees.
Between locations.
Absolutely, and we run right at about $1,200 in sales per square foot.
Okay.
I've got my prime cost at 62%.
Okay. What's that split with the cost of goods and labor? What's that look like?
So our cost of goods, I'd say it's a majority of it's in labor. So we invest a lot into our employees. We pay really well, and of course, we would rather be overstaffed than understaffed. And then we really focus on really following the fundamentals of a kitchen and controlling our cost of goods on a daily basis. So we're probably 28, 32, somewhere in that range. And of course, that involves both my wife and I being a part of that prime cost as well. We work the business every day.
So 28, 32 labor or 28, 32 split?
So 28% cost of goods sold, and then 32% to 34% on labor.
Okay, got
absolutely
it. Awesome. What is the percent profit you're hitting right now?
Percent profit, we hit 14.7%
and
net
you're
profit.
Casual dining?
We are fine.
We're
fine casual.
There's
so many blurred lines.
Yeah,
we're a blend right in between.
Elevated casual is kind of how I like to say. I mean, we this type of place you can come in with your friends, casual on a weeknight, or you can come and celebrate a birthday. I mean, it's really kind of that sweet spot that I like to think.
Got it.
But it's definitely elevated experience, but you feel comfortable.
Got it. Awesome. I was actually just wrapped up with Chef David Denise. I hope I'm saying his name. He does it so much better than I do. I Americanize his name so bad. But it's harder and harder to do ultra or fine dining or ultra fine dining today.
Yeah.
The market's just shrinking for that. The rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer.
Right.
And you got to really appeal to like what works. And
right.
A lot of people are drawn to the allure, the sexiness of fine dining, but there's not a big market share to support that.
No,
It's
steakhouses are like, to me, they kind of are the fine dining. That's left.
Or
sushi
places seem to be killing it right now.
True.
The omakase
Omakase,
sushi
yeah.
is
Absolutely.
killing it.
Right.
And we've always said it. The world we want to be in is a premium space. When it comes to dining, we think it's a lot less susceptible to the rest, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
We felt we never wanted a fine dining restaurant, but we always wanted something that was not, not
Attainable.
obtainable for
yeah.
what we think guests' expectations are, and the day and age of dining out and that experience that they're looking for.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. I think we have an idea of who we're talking to now. I can't wait to dive into your story, find out how you got to where you are today. But let's get that motivational, inspirational ball rolling with a success quote or mantra. And I don't think I gave you a heads up on this, so I apologize. So, first thing that comes to mind, maybe it's a core value, maybe it's a saying that echoes within your restaurants. Like, what comes to mind? Like, let's get that motivational ball going.
Oh God.
I think you know mine, but I'll let
No,
you.
you go first because
Buy some time.
So
We can
I
be
motivate my team, and a saying that we've always really tried to stick to is, when you're in the weeds, when there's no light at the end of the tunnel, and you kind of ask yourself, what am I doing here in this fight that I'm in, so to say, day by day, night by night, plate by plate, and bite by bite. So we focus on the smaller details and not let the bigger picture kind of eat us alive, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I have a similar quote that I've heard from a past guest, Chef Evan Hennessy, out of Stages in Dover, New Hampshire, 1 or 30. Whether there's one person in the dining room or 30, and I think they only have a 30-seat restaurant.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same
Just
approach.
1 or 30.
Yeah.
Just the same always.
Right.
Is that close, do you think?
Absolutely. And once again, we focus on every bite, every single detail that goes out the door. And whether that's one guest or 30, it's the same mentality of hitting reset the day we come in. New day, new light, new experience in front of us. Focus on the details. And
kind of keep going one step forward.
reset that mentality every single day we come in. That's
That
kind of how
hard,
we
not
attack
easy.
it.
Or that easy and that hard, I
Right.
should say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Addie, you had some time to think of something.
I mean, this goes back to just as a child, my mom always told me to keep it simple. She would say, "Keep it simple, stupid," but I don't, like endearing. But I find that to be true in life with everything. I mean, you got to keep it simple. Kind of the same thing you're saying. Look at everything, kind of one piece by one piece. Don't overcomplicate it. That's just, and with food, that's kind of my mantra on food too. I think simple is better.
Yeah. Honestly, I think this is where restaurant owners get in trouble because they're creative. A lot of us have ADD. I always say us like I own a restaurant, but someday I want to own a restaurant.
Yeah.
I definitely have ADD, I'll say that.
Right.
But we get distracted easily. And
sure.
we want to do a bunch of different things.
Right.
And you got to keep it focused on what do we do? What is our lane? What is our niche? What can we execute better than anybody else? And just do that and then streamline it.
And stay in your lane. That's you don't want to compare yourself to too many people and that sort of thing. That's also important to me, like keep in your lane kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
Great way to get this thing started.
Yeah.
Where does it make sense to start sharing your story? And who wants to go first? Because I know you guys didn't meet until 2000. Was it 11? Is that what I had on my timeline?
We've
So
known
Addie
each
and
other.
I have known each other our whole lives.
Well, since
Or
high
not
school.
our whole
High
lives,
school.
since
Okay.
high school. And we both went our separate ways after high school, but of course found ourselves in love with the industry. I got out of high school and dove right into it and started my process of
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It happens all the time.
really, cut my teeth in a kitchen and finding out what the industry was all about. I had always waited tables, but like yourself, ADD through the roof, motor that never stops. And the moment I stepped in the kitchen, of course, it felt like I found a home that I could use my hands for the rest of my life and get paid to do so. So I traveled. I've worked in, different states, different cities. I moved around specifically to build my craft and really expose myself to as much as possible. I was in the Golden Nugget Casino in Las Vegas for almost a year and a half. Saw the largest operations of hospitality you can get, and went up to New York, spent a small stint with a crafted hospitality restaurant called River Park. Saw what fine dining truly was, and standards that were through the roof. And
so help me wrap my mind on timeline. For some reason, my mind works so chronologically.
Yeah.
So you guys came back to Houston. You crossed paths in 2011. Went to high school together. Did you graduate
different high
together?
schools? We kind of ran around in the same groups.
Same year?
Yeah.
We were 2 years apart.
2 years apart.
Yeah.
Who graduated first?
I was 2003. She was 2 years behind me.
Same year I graduated. Nice. So 2003. So you're basically looking at like 8 years of being in the industry, doing your thing, and you, Addie, were in the industry doing your thing for 6 years.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do in the industry, so I went to culinary school.
Got it.
And did some things in New York.
Got it. So
She's got to dive more into
Well,
this.
I-
She
we-
got to work
we
for
will.
a lot of
Yeah, yeah.
phenomenal stuff in New York.
yeah, I like to kind of unpackage one and then
Yeah.
pivot to
Yes,
the next. So
exactly.
did you know when you graduated high school that you wanted to be a restaurant owner someday? Like, or were you just looking for what were you? Was it intentional? Were you just looking for something to do, to travel? Like, what was drawing you to the industry?
I think it was every stepping stone of the industry became a new challenge. And I found out I was an entrepreneur because I could not sit in one place and I wanted to figure something else out, if that made sense. And then it came a point where I think both of us felt that we were in the industry, we saw the direction it was going, and we felt we could contribute.
And you felt this
In a
way
direction.
separately, but you come to realize you had the same feeling before you crossed paths again?
Absolutely. I can remember at a young age watching those above and understanding their, standing in a kitchen and cooking somebody's food and understanding you wouldn't be here if there wasn't a vision, if there wasn't an idea behind a restaurant that created a certain experience. So I think I was drawn at an early age of the challenge of that experience that everybody's trying to create in a restaurant.
Yeah.
And when I went from place to place, I took little bits and pieces of every experience that I, worked within. And yeah, it was obvious to me I wanted to create my own experience. People person, watching people enjoy what you've done for them. Once again, that's why we're all still here.
So the goal was to be a restaurant owner.
Absolutely, it was. Well, it wasn't necessarily to be a restaurant owner. It was to create an experience and to push the industry. And there's no other platform that you can do that. I mean, you're an exec, you're limited, you're in a kitchen, you're GM, you're overseeing the restaurant, but you're not necessarily cooking all the food. To me, that's an experience that I wanted complete control of, and I felt that what we could do would obviously help and push the industry forward.
So you weren't necessarily committed to the idea of being a restaurateur and owning a business and doing P&Ls and creating pro formas, but you knew you wanted to create a unique experience that was your own. And you could have done that as an executive chef. You could have had somebody, bankroll your vision, your dream, and you could have stayed in the kitchen and found partners to do the other stuff.
Absolutely. Yes.
Got it.
And it was, we wanted to touch as many people's lives as we could, and that wasn't just through food, that was through employment. And
Got it.
it's a big reason we do what we do.
So how many different restaurants would you say you worked at from post college? Did you go to school? Did I miss
I did
that?
not. So I actually tried a small stint in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, at a school there, and spent too much time in a bar.
What was your lowest GPA at any given
Oh, it didn't even break one. It was bad.
Oh, really?
I
feel
Well, you
good
didn't-
about myself.
You didn't
right
go
now.
to class, I don't think so.
I was the worst student. I went to college to party.
I had a 1.18 my freshman year.
Oh, no.
So
No.
yeah,
Okay.
just gonna
Well,
throw
hey,
it out
When
there.
I
You're in
didn't
good
register
company.
1.0, my mom quickly cut that credit card off, and I packed my bags and
Yeah,
came home.
I like to brag that I did bring that up to a 3.3 by the time I graduated. So
Well,
I figured it out.
Okay,
after.
you're all right then. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, where would it have
was.
been if I didn't have that first semester?
Yeah.
Well, I found myself in school sitting down, staying still, and going, "This is not me."
You talk about
This is
ADD,
not me."
ADHD.
Yeah.
This is your.
Absolutely,
Your
we're
person
meant for
right
the
here.
industry. There's a motor in us. A lot of people could work 80, 90 hours a week, and it kills them. It hurts them. ADD, you do that, and that's called life.
Right.
We move. We never stop. We barely sleep. I was meant to work with my hands and be on my feet the
I
rest
feel the
of my
same
life.
way. Yeah, I can really I identify with that mindset for sure. Okay, so pause there, pivot. You graduate 2 years later. You find yourself in New York City.
Well, I went to undergrad in Austin.
Okay.
And I thought I was going to do maybe marketing, maybe
University
advertising.
of
I
Austin?
went to actually St. Edward's.
Okay.
A small liberal arts school there. And I just never could find anything I was truly in love with. I did some internships here and there and got a few little jobs, but I loved food. I loved, again, cooking for people, creating an experience, even if it was just in my own dining room. And so I asked, my parents, can I move to New York, go to culinary school? And they were very supportive. They loved food. My grandparents were in the industry. And so I went up there, did culinary school at the French Culinary Institute, which is now something else. And I got to work at 11 Madison Park as a host. I got to work as a production assistant for a Martha Stewart company show. I got to work at Le Pont Quotidien in their corporate office. What else? I worked in a catering kitchen from one of the biggest catering companies in New York City. So I got to do really test the waters. I just love this industry in general.
And was that all while working or going to school? Was it the
Yes.
school that helped you get these connections?
No, I would just go out on my own and, reply to job.
Good for you.
Yeah. And they weren't always long stints, but it was just that was my time to really figure out what I wanted to do. I mean, that was my time to grow, which was really awesome that I got to have that opportunity and experience.
How many years was your program?
It was like an 8-month program,
Oh, wow.
but I was in New York for over a year.
How much did that cost you? Do you mind me asking?
Oh God, I don't remember. It was
Ballpark.
maybe $15,000.
Were you paying for your way, or did you get some
No,
help?
I got some help, luckily. Yes.
Oh, hey.
But a lot of people there, they had great financial aid. They had really good, offerings. And I will say, though, the best, even the teachers, they were like, you got to learn through experience. The culinary school is great if you didn't know how to chop a vegetable.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I think that the network there was more important than anything. And so that's when people are like, oh, I need to go to culinary school. And I'm like, no, you don't.
Yeah, that was my follow-up question.
I feel bad saying that. I loved my experience there and the opportunity, and I learned a lot, made a lot of good friends. But I don't think that you need to go to culinary school to be in the business. And if anything, if you don't have the financial backing and it would be something that would be draining to you, I'd say don't do it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I can get on that bandwagon.
Yeah.
Would you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think you should study psychology more than the culinary side before you get into this. 'Cause there's so much of the mind that is involved in understanding when running restaurants.
Relationships.
It's
Yeah.
food and relationships. That's this industry for sure. I can support those sentiments, and I do find that the people who do best in culinary school are the ones that decide later, maybe 22, 23, 24, that they want to be a chef.
Yeah.
And they're trying to make up for lost time because they didn't get that 5 years, 6 years in their late teens networking.
Right.
And then they get to the CIA or said culinary school or whatever, wherever you're going, and you're grinding, you're showing up, you're passionate, you love it, and if you're also talented, the instructors are going to see that and they're going to open doors
For sure.
So you can kind of work the system a little bit and pay for that network.
Right.
But if you're going there to learn how to hold a knife, there's YouTube today. Also, there's kitchens all over America that will teach you how to hold a knife.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, go to work. Don't bury yourself in debt. Use that desire, that talent to be your one-way ticket anywhere in the world. And you'll get a way better education.
Well, and I've said this to her in the past. It's not the food you make in this industry. It's the hands you shake.
Well, just like a lot of business.
And how you shake it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Once again, I truly stand behind that.
Totally.
It's political to an extent, but once again, it's you get in with, CIA, for instance, and once you're in, you're in. That's like the Harvard of it all.
Well,
Once
but you
again,
also have to have the
exactly, and of course you have to truly get in it. But who are you going to hire? The CIA guy, or are you going to hire me? You're going to truly question my skill set before you question his, because of the prestigious college that he went to and the training from all the chefs that he had. So. From my perspective, you can make it, but you have a better opportunity at a certain level in the industry if you go pay those dues at the culinary schools.
Yeah. I mean, it's never, even at the culinary school, you gotta grind, you gotta work it to earn that respect, because this professor is putting their name on the line.
Right.
So you can't just pay the yearly tuition and be like, where are my introductions?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No, you have to
Yes.
you earn your stripes.
Yeah, you got to
as
work
they
for
say.
it either way, but
Yeah.
you can't accelerate the process if you got the talent and you work hard. People will open
sure.
the doors.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so did you know that you wanted to open a restaurant? When did that come into your world?
So, I mean, I think I originally loved the idea of catering. Ina Garten is one of my, was my idol growing up. And probably one of the reasons why then we opened Relish Fine Foods, which was a market to-go style. It was, they were very popular around that time.
Do you think they're coming back?
I think it's really hard. I personally feel like that business was hard for us to run.
If you want to run a 78% prime cost.
Yeah, it was tricky. I don't think so, no.
Absolutely.
The short answer, sorry.
Yeah.
Once again, alcohol is the buffer in that game, unless you're in a very high volume.
So you're talking about retail alcohol?
No, it's consumption.
Well,
And retail alcohol is small markups.
Because this was a market, right?
It was, but we did catering, so that was our bread and butter. That's where we really made our money.
So the market served as a retail and a commissary,
essentially. And to me, it was like marketing.
Okay.
It was in a great area.
It was a storefront.
It was a storefront, and then we got to really kind of, have our services through that. Like we sold some stuff on the shelves, and we sold dinners and things like that to go. And
we
but
were
at the end of the day,
market with a lot of really.
We did a lot of events.
I want to unpackage this more, but I want, before we get to 2011 when you're building your first business. Biggest influences for both of you during this time. You both work for some really well-known restaurant groups. You mentioned Kraft. Was it Kraft?
Crafted, yes.
Yeah, Crafted. You were in Las Vegas.
I did. I worked at the Golden Nugget for Landry's. It was right when he purchased it.
Biggest impressions during this come up, this early career come up, people that you saw doing it right that you wanted to emulate. Who did you admire?
Honestly, I admired the groups. Wasn't really a celebrity or a particular chef. It was my chef, and I refer to him all the time as one of the guys that's driven our industry, but you'll never hear about him.
Let's hear about him.
His name is Ricky Cruz, and of course, in Houston, Tony Vallone built an empire of Italian food at a place called Grotto. Grotto was a restaurant that I first started at, and at the time, Ricky Cruz was the executive chef, and it's the story of dishwasher to executive chef, and a guy who really, once again, was all eyes and ears in a kitchen. What
did you admire about Chef Ricky Cruz? What was it about his
what he came from and what he's done?
How hard he works.
How hard he works, and to be honest, my work ethic, the way I run my business, the way I push my kitchen, and everything else in between is what I learned from him.
How hard did he work?
Just as hard as I work today, if not harder.
What does that look like?
One, that looks like a good attitude and a positive mindset and a boatload of hours.
Give me an example of his positive mindset or his attitude.
So the grind that you would get into daily, once again, he was one that he didn't let you burn. He was a leader. He got in there with you and picked you right back up, whether it was weeds
Didn't
or
push, pulled.
No, he did. He would truly pull you out of anything. And once again, it was the story of there's the first guy in and the last guy out. Every single day when you showed up, he was there, and
he's teaching too.
You worked your 12-hour shift as a chef, and he was still there when you left.
Yeah. So he taught you a lot through example.
Exactly.
Did he ever teach you a philosophy or a mindset, or like you said, his attitude, his positivity, but did he ever say something, or did he say how he shows up or why he shows up like that?
So, I mean, it boils down, and for him, it was love in so many different directions. And once again, you can either love what you do and figure out if this is what you love, or once again, you're in the wrong area. And how could he do what he did? He loved taking care of a staff. And providing food for a customer,
right.
And once again, that was,
and that's
he
what it's
motivated
about.
Me to either make that mind up or get the heck out of the way.
And that's what it's about.
Yeah.
I don't think that we celebrate that enough in the industry. It's because we're not the ones doing the celebrating. I think it's a lot of adjacent industries, media publications celebrating their perspective. And I think that's what we tend to prioritize, because that's what puts seats in butts.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think we need to be mindful of it, but it's hard to see that when we're in it. You don't see things that you're super close to. You don't see the forest through the woods.
Yeah.
And I think we forget what it's all about. Restaurant owners, what if I told you there was a way to lower your prime cost by $1,000 and get paid $1,000 on top of that? If it sounds too good to be true, it's not. Restaurant Systems Pro is offering that deal right now to 10 of my lucky listeners. Listen closely. Join the Restaurant Systems Pro 30-day prime cost challenge, and if you successfully improve your prime cost by $1,000 or more compared to the same 30 days the year prior, they will pay you $1,000. Find the link in the show notes titled Restaurant Systems Pro 30-Day Prime Cost Challenge. Click that link and get signed up today. Only 10 people are going to get approved into this program. Get on it. Okay, same question, Addie. You worked for some amazing people. 11 Madison Park, arguably one of the best restaurants ever in terms of if we do put value on lists, right?
Yeah.
But what did they, or maybe it was working for an entrepreneur like Martha Stewart, although I heard she was a hard one to work for.
Yes, she code red when she arrived. It was always, look busy.
Yeah, commanding.
Yeah,
control.
Don't look her in the eye.
Don't look her in the eye. But I also
eye.
do. I mean, she's the goat. So I can't.
You can't shake a stick.
No, my God, she's incredible. But 11 Madison Park. If you want to talk hospitality, they really that was what I learned there. That's what I took away more than anything.
What is hospitality to 11 Madison Park? I mean, I'm sure most of us have read the book. It's literally the answers in that book. But what was it for your interpretation of that?
Making people feel welcome, making a seamless, dinner at this fine dining restaurant, but you feel comfortable, like you belong. I mean, everyone there that walked in, we greeted them by name. Like, that was so important. How we talked to people, how we interacted with people. That was so much of the training.
How do they train that?
Oh, it's.
Do they just say, make sure you use names?
Yes, I mean, and you learn by watching. Again, like, a lot of it's you're watching how to interact. But yes, like, I mean, they want you, the way that you answer a question there is really important to them, and they would test you constantly. I would have my GM pull me outside and ask me these questions, and if I didn't answer them correctly, he'd turn around and walk back inside, and it was
And leave you in the snow.
leave me in the
What
snow.
were the kind
outside.
of questions he was asking?
Well,
Or
these
she?
were more. I mean, they want you to know everything there. What type of wood was in the inlet of the ceiling?
Details.
The details,
Because the
all
details
of
are
the
what people
details.
remember.
Absolutely, and that was. I mean, the details there. We had everyone's coats. We were holding them, waiting for them. We would know when their table was getting up. We had gifts for everybody. We rolled their menus every night. I mean, the details there were incredible.
Yeah.
And it took a whole team, to
How
do
many
it.
seats was 11 Madison Park?
Oh God, I do not remember. I should remember.
Ballpark.
I want to say like 80 something. But
How
then
many
they had a PDR and they had a bar, which was more informal. But I mean, and I started working there the month that Danny Meyer sold it to Daniel Hume. Daniel Hume and Will Guidara and Daniel Hume.
Yeah.
So that was like an interesting phase to kind of see that turnover.
I'm sure you weren't privy to all the details of that agreement and the negotiations.
No. And actually, I really, Will and Daniel were incredible, but I really loved Danny and his philosophy, and not that they wanted to be even better than that, which is incredible. But I like Danny's a little more casual. They wanted to keep going, which again
They said
is
they wanted to
incredible,
be the best restaurant in the world.
which is great.
Which they
and
did.
and,
Yeah.
and they got there.
That's not my. That's in the, like they mentioned that in Unreasonable
Yes.
Hospitality. That
Yeah.
was the goal.
Yes, for sure.
What I don't like is how much that goal hinges on networking. It's because it's a club,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I don't know. Like, anyway, it's not my time to talk.
No. But I'm with you, and that's I don't want to say it left a bad taste, but it was just not where I wanted to be.
It's not what the industry was born out of.
No, and it's not where that was not my
The
goal.
1%.
So it
But
was.
It's also great to have goals.
It was yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure.
You know, like I'm not shooting them down for
No.
trying
Yeah.
to achieve something. I think it's important that we achieve and we try to do the best we can do. And I want to be clear about that. But,
Absolutely. And they did a great job. I mean, they are incredible people, and whatever, I respect them. But their goal was not what I wanted. It's not myself.
Like what they did was incredible. I think you it has to be a yes and.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be incredible and do all the details and be so good at what you do, and you got to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't hit those goals unless you're also able and willing to play the game.
Totally.
I want to make it clear that, they were what they accomplished was truly like the detail and what they accomplished was really truly impressive. But
Totally.
I digress. So hospitality, how they taught it, how they trained it. Can you get any more detail into that?
I mean, it was just, like I said, I was at the host stand. So a lot of ours was the interacting with guests. I mean, they were, when Will and them took over, like, I'm from the South. I say y'all. That to me, that's hospitality. I don't know. But to them, that was not, they did not like that.
Well,
So-
I mean, there's different approaches.
Again-
There's no one way. That's
But-
what I've learned.
Yes. But
There's your way, and you have to teach people your way.
correct. And so that was, just things like that. But verbal, like how they spoke to people and stuff, I took that to heart. And, and one of the things I learned in the open table system and what I loved that they did is, I mean, before guests came in, we knew everything that they loved, like all of their wines, the caviar, we know when to expect them. And that's one of the things that we really use at Relish. And again, I said we're casual, but the level of hospitality is there. We know your name when you walk in. We love to know that you like the Chablis. And last time you got the snapper, you did not love the lemon sauce. So this time maybe we'll offer you something else. But those notes, those things that we anticipate what you want.
Yeah, I think that's one thing Will Guidara does really well, or explained really well. I can't remember where I heard him say it, or if it was in a video or in his book, but I know it's tied to him. Hospitality, if you look at the synonyms of hospitality, and this is my words, it's things like warmth, congeniality, sincere, like just generosity, like neighborliness, and he summed it up, and I think that this is really smart relative to just psychology, like Hospitality is seeing someone. And you can't be warm, you can't be neighborly, you can't be generous, you can't be convivial unless you're in that moment seeing someone.
Absolutely.
And if you look at human needs, if you believe in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it's like physiological. Do I have food, shelter, and warmth? Do I feel secure? Am I being threatened by an outside force?
Right.
And then the next most important thing, do I feel seen and valued? It's that important to our mental and like psychological health of just being seen and valued. And I think hospitality, being like seeing people, hospitality is literally a part of our human DNA. And I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. I mean, it's super important. And I think that's one thing that we do well. And that
We talk about the psychological side to cooking and our service. And, you mentioned a lot of those points on, being seen, and that's all a guest is looking for when they walk through the door. And so we focus on that experience in between.
Psychographics.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the if a guest is asking you for something, in our mind, we haven't used ours and we haven't anticipated their needs. And so what are they looking for? They're looking for you to do that. They're not looking for you to, anybody can come over and bring you a fork because you dropped it, or, you can refill a cocktail. Anybody can do those things, but really understanding what the guest is asking for during that process is what we focus on.
Hard to teach that to people. Sometimes
if a guest
we
is
talk about
asking
it.
you something, they're really wanting something out of it. Can you see that clear enough to once again execute? And
there's also the guest that wants to be left alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think of like, you're reminding me of the Japanese interpretation of hospitality, or how they show hospitality, and it's all about anticipating needs. It's you never ask what they want, you just do it.
Right.
Never reactive, but proactive with every thought that comes out. I mean, we talk about it all the time.
Maybe proactive.
We sell a dessert and we market right away. Once again, we don't wait for the process, and we understand that once again, you set a dessert down and a guest has to ask you for that silverware. You've missed what they're here for. Those are the details we're supposed to have down.
So let's jump to 2011 in your timeline now that we have an idea of what kind of got you here. What brought you guys back home to Houston?
Well, I had that idea for a little market in Houston, and very lucky to have parents who were on board and thought it was a good idea and willing to support me. And I knew Dustin, as we mentioned, through being mutual friends growing up in high school and whatnot. And at that point, he was catering with a catering company here, and I needed an executive chef to help me. And so it just seemed like a great idea.
Yeah. Awesome.
I was at a place called Affaire Extraordinaire, which is a big catering company in Houston, and it was the perfect fit. I was either looking to take that over. I was in that stage where I was ready
To do more.
Yeah, to do more. I had,
So you're 25, 26 years old. Is that right?
About there,
2011.
Yes. So yeah, a good 8-9 years into it.
Yeah.
I went to with the Landry's group. I traveled for 5 or 6 years with them, different locations. I was part of an opening team that was opening restaurants with them. Hence why I was in the Golden Nugget Casino for a year and a half.
Landry's. Why is that so familiar? Are they
Tillman Fertitta,
yeah. They're like a huge
billionaire guy,
Wow.
owns the Rockets, Golden Nugget. So backstory to the
that was your tie to Las Vegas.
Yes.
Yes. And so the Grotto was honestly an Italian institution in Houston. And it was run by a guy named Tony Vallone. Tony Vallone's since passed, but he and a lot of other families in Houston put Italian food and doing it correctly on the map with that restaurant, the Grotto. And so Tillman Fertitta bought the Grotto from Tony Vallone, and then once that happened, it turned into a corporate, a corporate business that they were kind of tried to scale across the country.
Yeah.
I signed up for that because once again, I was going exposure, travel, you need somebody to go to Las Vegas and run a restaurant for you. I was single, 23, 24 years old, so I jumped at that opportunity right away.
Yeah. You see it all the time. People try to scale brand. You know, look at like Carrabba's. That's another Texas brand, Houston, right?
Yes.
The original Carrabba's.
You need to go if you've.
Oh, I've had Johnny on the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, have you?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's
we love-
awesome.
Yeah, we know him personally. He's a good guy.
He's a phenomenal guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, it wasn't the brand that made Carrabba's. It was Johnny Carrabba, the Carrabba family.
Right.
It was the culture, the people.
Right.
You can't scale that.
No.
And we've gotten better at identifying, I think, and realizing that it's people. And to scale a brand, you need to scale a culture, and you have culture carriers that are the people who embody that culture, and you bring them with the brand, right? But even that's hard to do because
Very hard.
you dilute that the bigger you get.
Right.
That was originally our plan with Relish, and we've come to the realization it's impossible.
Like you said, it is. It's really
without
hard.
that, because if you don't take us with it,
Yeah.
once again,
Big part of.
we're a big part of our brand and what we do for it. So
Right.
we don't think it's even possible to move other cities or states. Or what we've built is a Houston brand, and it belongs here and it'll stay here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys come together.
Yep.
Where did you have that? Where were you going with that train of thought? I don't want
Sorry.
to cut you short. I think I took you off
No, you're
talking
good.
about scaling brands.
No.
Well, it is. You had mentioned Johnny Carrabba, and originally everybody wants.
Well, he did it the right way.
He did it the right way.
If,
He
if
got-
we're
he
ever
got
going to scale a
Outback to
brand, we're going
send
to follow
him-
Johnny's.
Yeah, they did do a
Absolutely.
phenomenal job.
Yeah.
And I love that he,
Yeah.
in the contract, said, I own the original.
Yes.
So if this thing
Yeah.
goes south, like we can always bring it back to what it was meant to be.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he's maintained that.
No, he's a very, very good.
Yeah, they did a great job. I didn't mean to suggest
sorry.
that they didn't do a great job, but they'll never be an original John. Like,
No.
you
Well,
will
that's
never
why
be the original.
No, that's
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
they have the two, the original Carrabbas
Yeah.
left in Houston, and then
I think
they
it's
have
his
the other
sister
ones.
or somebody else owns the other one, and those are the only two that are not
Yeah.
part of
Yeah.
the deal. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It is.
sorry, go ahead.
No, I feel bad. We're going off topic here.
No, there's no path. There's meandering conversation. So it's my job to bring us back on path. So you guys come together. You're talking about the work you were doing, Landry's. You're back in Houston. That's why you were back in Houston. See, this is my job to come back to this. How did we get here? So it sounds like, and I'm reading between the lines, it sounds like you're very fortunate that you had a family to support you. Is that where you got the money to start?
You did.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
So what did you need to get started to build this vision that you're trying to do
You mean like,
with the market?
with the market?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so we found a lease. It was a little small spot. My mom actually had a little small food business, so she had a commercial kitchen. So we didn't have to build out a commercial kitchen. We thought, this would be a small investment. We could cook out of that commercial kitchen and then open this market where we would then, it's like a commissary, transport the food.
6 a.m.
So I moved back. I mainly needed a team of people, and that's where Dustin came in to help me build that.
Got it. I don't want to spend I want to get to where we are today. I
Yeah.
want to make sure we talk about that.
Yeah.
But how long did Relish survive? From
that?
2011 to
2015.
15, so 4-year run.
Yeah.
What was it what was the biggest way that this experience, building this thing together, doing this thing, how did that form who you were? You had Relish and Relish Restaurant and Bar at the same time, then you ended up closing the market? Was there an overlap?
Not really. We were in some lease issues there. We were not supposed to be a dine-in restaurant, but people wanted to eat there. We were making sandwiches and things to go.
So you had a license, you got a license for a marketplace, but then you didn't have the right
Well,
permitting,
it was-
or-
it-
We
the
were
lease.
technically the code of a prepared market, which you're not allowed to eat in and consume food in.
Got it.
And our neighbor exercised a competition clause
In their lease.
to prove we're a fast food restaurant at this pace with X amount of chairs. And yeah, when it went to court and when you looked at it, we had a landlord politely ask us, "You've done well." We were really the reason they came at us. We were booming, and we took over their parking lot. So once that happened, landlord asked us to leave, and then that's when Addie and I were going, do we want
Well, how can we build this and make this something else?
Right.
Do you want an 82% prime cost business, or do you want a
Well, in
55 to 60?
in your partner's defense, or your partner, but your neighbor's defense,
Yeah.
That's why there's clauses.
For sure.
Because the
Totally.
you can't have one restaurant that's doing really well in a space that wasn't designed for two restaurants.
Absolutely. And I think that so many landlords today, they're hurting restaurants because we want to run them, but the economics of these strips and parking and everything that comes in them.
No, we agreed that
we
we were
agreed
not,
with him totally that
but we were growing.
I didn't think that you disagreed. I just
Yeah.
want to. This is a learning opportunity.
Totally.
100%.
For people to-
and what
yes.
we learned during that was what we're doing is hurting someone else.
Yeah.
We need to go.
Right.
And that's what we learned from the get-go was this was never our intentions to come in and...
Civil engineering, like
Right.
what
Exactly.
can the space support?
Yes.
You need to be able to have parking, and
Exactly.
you need to be smart about. You want those types of clauses in your agreement, your lease agreement, and stuff like that, because you want to have foresight.
Absolutely.
If a restaurant goes in next door, even if they're not directly competitive with the genre of food,
It can still hurt your restaurant. Yeah.
can this physical space, like
Totally.
the footprint of this complex, handle that? And if no, then having that foresight and putting that into your agreement with your landlord is good business. And I don't know if they had that foresight or if it just happened to be there, but like that's a really smart
Yes.
operator.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We know the
Yeah.
operator and we know
they
they're smart people, and we've done the same thing in our current leases.
Probably learned
right.
from
Absolutely.
someone.
Absolutely. And we get that we're at the mercy of landlords and whether, once again, the metrics of their strips work, and we've got to just make the best call in deciding whether they do or not. And
Any other big lessons from this first attempt at business? And it sounds like things were going well. You were taking up all the parking, right? Like, what was good about it? What worked?
Of course, we focused on a good product for a neighborhood that, once again, was in need of, a little coffee shop and prepared deli.
So you were packaging it as grab and go. Were you plating
correct.
it?
No, everything was in to go.
Everything was in a
But
box.
people were sitting down and eating it.
Because we had a little waiting area for guests, like a counter, stand-up counter, and people would stand up and eat. And we had little benches outside, like just cute, people would sit on the benches and eat,
So there weren't tables.
No.
Okay. So things were going really well. So was the challenge just the amount of money that was being tied up in inventory to have a market? Like what wasn't working? Why didn't you do what you were doing there someplace else if it was working?
The volume you need.
It is a volume game, and when I say you have to sell thousands of boxes of pasta to make sense to put space on the wall for him. Once again, what was it? We saw a few other concepts like us all pop up in different neighborhoods. We all transitioned from the model and
To more of a
understood
restaurant.
the day and age of rent and the price per square foot that we pay. It's impossible to make these numbers work. Economically, they did not fit a P&L that would sustain over time. And we looked at it and thought, well, we could do these, but you need 20 and 30 of them for them to make sense. And
these are the things you don't learn until you don't know what you don't know until you know.
Yeah. Right.
And the only way to find out is by doing it. Or listen to a really great podcast that shares stories
There you
about be wary of this. If this is your vision, know that we had a similar vision and that we didn't think about these things.
Absolutely.
It's important to talk. So just the sheer amount of volume you'd have to do in a market retail-like space in order to make it work. You'd have to scale to a critical number or have a giant footprint where you own all the retail business in a neighborhood.
And we did a lot. I mean, between, like I said, we did not make money off of those pastas and the specialty goods we were selling. I mean, that to me was, again, more marketing. It was the catering. We did box lunch catering, corporate catering, things like that.
private catering at houses around the area.
So that's where we really, that was our,
I think
where we made money.
people who are doing that well, I've also noticed, aren't relying on the footprint of their marketplace as much as they're using it as a commissary.
Right.
But they're also tapping into maybe slowing down a little bit now, but for a while, a real booming sector, which was delivered like prefix, like fixed meals delivered.
Oh, right.
So whether that was like healthy dining, like if you wanted to be able to have meals cooked and delivered to your home and you could just put in the refrigerator and heat them up throughout the week.
Exactly.
But like geared towards a type of individual that was trying to eat clean, healthy food and they can't get that anywhere else.
Right.
But can't necessarily afford to have a private chef.
Right.
You know?
There are definitely a lot of those that I feel like they have kind of died out, but that
The
boomed
pandemic
for a while.
really helped with that.
Yeah.
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 It was the economics that, once again, you're in the grocery store business and you got to have a lot of traffic every single day.
But here's the thing. I think the grocery store business started to catch on to it too. Because now there's a huge amount of footprint in grocery stores that's
The takeaway.
dedicated to grab and go.
Yes.
Yeah, the prepared side.
Yeah.
In fact,
Yeah.
we noticed a few recipes and things in our prepared market make their way to our local grocery store prepared market shelves.
Look, I'm guilty. I am not too proud to go to the grocery store and get a prepared meal and throw it in the microwave.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a level of convenience
For
that
sure.
It's nice.
We work a lot. We
Yeah.
have 2 kids. The convenience factor is really important.
Yeah. Hey, babe, what's for dinner? Oh, and just do a roasted turkey from the grocery store.
Yeah.
I will destroy a roasted turkey.
Yes.
That is like my favorite thing. I just will stand over that thing like an animal in the kitchen and just rip it out of the bag. It's kind of
I'm not supposed to say this, but the Randall's fried chicken is some of my favorite.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I've never had it, but I'll take your word for it. I digress again. So this goes down. You guys are having success. It's not working because the way it was working wasn't working for everybody in the space. So you are forced to find a new location. This is 2014.
Yes, that's around 2014, 2015.
Yes.
And
Was
that,
there a plan to open another restaurant before this went
not
down?
really. I mean, obviously it was something we thought about, but I think this just catapulted that. And it actually turns out that the tenant of the restaurant that was in the same shopping center as us had another restaurant that they were looking to get rid of. And so they had a lease that they wanted someone to take over.
So this is in the same footprint that your market was in, just now you're taking over.
It's a different restaurant, so it's down the
So
road.
now that's allowed because there's...
So no, they owned a restaurant
So
called the Bird and the Bear.
Okay.
And that was down the road from where we were.
Oh, okay.
And this
Okay.
is so they had multiple restaurants.
So the same group that was exercising their no competition clause also had a restaurant down the road that they needed to get
See,
out
that's
of.
how we should play.
Exactly.
That's
and
how
so
we should
the irony behind it all was the same person that we needed to leave because also
Was like,
gave
hey,
us the platform that
We had.
brought us to where we're at today.
So
That's good business.
we
right?
got
Absolutely.
to we got to
Take
take
notes,
over.
kids. If you're listening to this at home, like that's how we should. That's how we should do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it worked out.
Yeah. So the person that set this up seems like they have good business ethics. Did they set up the agreement good? The takeover, or did you take over a lease?
We took over a lease.
Okay.
I mean, I think that's hard. I think we've learned a lot from that. It's not how we would have done the lease. There were a lot of things that maybe
Yeah.
we would have,
Major
the
disadvantage.
parking and things
Yeah.
like that, but we'd had no choice.
Yeah.
And so,
Exactly.
I don't want to say you're held hostage there, but at the same time, look, it did create and give us an opportunity. And now we learned even more from that.
So sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I personally feel like, not every choice you make is going to be perfect. It can't always be. But as long as you learn from that and can pivot and figure out how to make it good, that's what we've really tried to do there. And now, as we have now signed one and maybe another lease coming up, we know how to do this.
What wasn't good about the lease? Like that we can create awareness. Like look for these things.
Parking,
Okay.
number one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the parking was and that really
Hidden
hurt our business.
information. I mean, when you're working a lease in this industry, you don't ever want to spare a dollar because it's the most important part. I mean, you could have the best food, the best chefs, awesome service system, amazing maitre d's, phenomenal wine list. If the process of getting that butt in a seat is hindered because of multiple different factors.
To access the seat.
Once again, the parking is the number one thing that you have to
in Houston.
You have to understand
it's
A lot of cars around here.
It's priority number one.
People don't take public transportation. People rarely walk. It's really hot.
Yeah.
A lot of the year. It's people want to drive.
Yeah.
And that is
and with being a big city,
important.
it's expensive.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's expensive to not drive in Houston.
Well, yeah, like Ubers.
With how big it is and,
Right.
how many great restaurants we have. I mean, you could be in 30, 35-minute Uber drives just to get to a great restaurant
Right.
that you want to go to. And to sustain that on a regular basis, once it's not conducive for our city, which hence why we think local neighborhood restaurants, once again, they thrive because your neighborhood sticks with you. They're not necessarily...
There's a shift happening right now. There's so many things going through my mind right now. Like, there was a period where you wanted to be in the middle of downtown, and that's where all the best real estate was. But that's not the case anymore. And if you ever, no disrespect to Texas, I want to put that out there.
Yeah.
If you ever fly into Texas and you're flying over Texas and you're looking down, you're flying into Dallas, you're looking down, it's an ocean of suburbia. And you got to get in a car and drive 20 minutes to a retail outlet to get fed. And if you look at how people behave for hundreds, thousands of years, we never had aside from going to hunt and gather the food, we'd bring the food back and we would eat it in our community, with our people, with our community. And we don't have that central, what's the word I'm looking for? Third place. That was just standard. And when we were colonizing the Americas, and I know that's a very triggering word. I'm sorry if I'm triggering it, but when we were colonizing the Americas, you needed, if you wanted to start a town, do you know the first thing you needed to do to be established as a town?
A tavern? Yeah.
You needed a public house, a pub.
Yep.
Not a post office, not a church, but those things are
place.
also downtown.
Right.
Everything was in the public house, a tavern.
Yep.
That's where you got your news. That's where you got your mail. That's where you got your entertainment. That's where you got your beer. That's where you literally did everything. It was the hub of a community.
Yeah.
It was the heart of a community. It was the community oven. It was where everything happened. And we just got away from that.
Right.
And there is so much opportunity in the sprawling oceans of suburbia across America. Knock down a few houses and build a restaurant there.
Yeah.
We need that in America right now. We need a place to come together and be with our community, and it's missing.
Absolutely. And even in Houston, we feel, and we've been a part of a move to the west side of Houston for good reason. Untapped
They needed
suburbia with very few restaurants, and we've seen the volume, come drastically because of it.
Right.
To where take downtown to, Gallery and anywhere in between there. Trust me when I say this, there are too many restaurants.
That's a big problem.
Yeah.
There are so many restaurants,
Oversaturated.
and for the
'Cause
first time
yeah.
in Houston, we could walk along a row of restaurants, and not one of them was originated and produced in Houston. It's other big cities and states realizing this suburbia that's out there in Texas, and we've just been flooded with them since the pandemic.
I think that there is a big weight on the shoulders, or some weight that should be bared on the shoulders of the developers of America.
Yes.
When we were doing the civil engineering, laying out this country, it was geared towards consumerism. It was geared for, there are so many small towns that dried up when we built the interstates and prior to commercial aviation and everything, that the Route 66.
Right.
We
were just talking about that yesterday.
Yeah. And you built these super highways that bypass all these towns, and it pulled all the commercial, what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? It will come to me. But the commerce, all the commerce out of these small towns.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is turning into a huge history
Sorry,
lesson.
yeah.
That wasn't, but it's just anyway, it's just fascinating. We don't know until we know.
Yeah.
But back to your story, because I want to make sure we share your story. So you find this location, you identify, you didn't know that there's parts of the lease or specifically parking. Any other tips or advice when it comes to looking at a lease, things you've learned over time?
Well, one thing that we learned there, too, which you can't always plan for, is construction, especially road construction.
In the future of your lease.
And that sort of stuff, though, like just trying
necessary evil.
Right. And right. But no, lease-wise, no.
Well, I mean, I think that's a great point. You really focus on signing a good lease and making sure it represents everything the business needs. But once again, what's the development? What's happening
Maybe
around
talk
you?
to the town.
Yeah.
What are the plans here?
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And I think, that's an advantage of building your brand in your backyard, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And even, we're with a new opportunity right here in front of us, and minus the little relish on San Felipe that we would never be staring in front of this opportunity that's in front of us. And it's as far from the small town. Unfortunately, real estate in Houston, and I think in a lot of big cities, once again, they're getting away from the small, quaint, unique restaurants. And we're all being put into a pool of, you take it or leave it. These are the spaces. They're huge. They represent a certain grandiose and bigger scale. And you talk to commerce and, the difference between, taking out the stoplight in a small town, and you think that's a good thing by putting Route 66 to it. But once again, what does it do to the small town and the people that
Route
have been there the whole time?
Was the small road that supported it. It was the super 4-lane highways. That
I-10.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, that's just the world that is consumerism, and I think that it's weird. And also, what's the issue? Why are there so many restaurants today? Well, because when all those strip malls were built, there were
empty spaces.
Retail was also a thing back then.
Right.
People would go to retail stores to get electronics, fabrics, clothing.
Right.
That doesn't work anymore.
I know.
Because we get all of our shit on Amazon or delivered by mail.
Yeah. Right.
So now we have all this empty retail space.
Right.
What works in retail space still to this day? Restaurants, but not
that many.
80% saturation.
Right.
Where every box in a retail strip is a restaurant. That's not sustainable.
No, it's not.
No, when it's 80% restaurants and 2% or 20% retail, it's impossible for each of those restaurants.
I know
economically, once again,
bubble.
for it to make sense for you to be there.
Yeah.
Right.
2 restaurants versus 8 retail spots, you're paying different rent, and I think there's more leverage for a landlord and less for you as a tenant.
Yeah.
And once again, more competition. I get you should put yourself right in the middle, and we feel it. You should be right in the middle of the competition that you want to compete with. Don't run from it. Don't go to the outskirts. Put your business right there in front of their face.
Because it's working.
Yes.
That's the Lowe's Home Depot approach.
Exactly.
Or
you want
McDonald's
them to see you, and you want to keep an eye on them the entire time. Once again, that is a business mindset that I think is very important. You never want to be alone. You want to be with others. Yeah. But it's got to be right, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And we find it out. We're in a strip, and we're the only restaurant. And we probably might be the only strip on that side of town that only has 1 restaurant in it.
Oh, wow.
And, of course, you go look at the others, and there's 3 and 4. And
you
had mentioned commercial real estate, and you want commerce, and you want things to change, and you want you want things to grow, but at what cost do we do it? And our even Houston itself, real estate's so expensive, everything is so vertical.
Right.
Well, when it's vertical down below, we're convinced that...
What do you say everything's so expensive that it's vertical? Are you talking about like literal vertical skyscrapers?
Skyscrapers.
They're just,
because
they're
the
building.
dirt
I was sure. Are you talking about vertical
you,
integration? Or
No.
Okay.
vertical skyscrapers, because once again, the dirt that's below them is so expensive, you can't just build 1 layer. You need to build 5 to 10 for it to make sense. And so we've outgrown the local restaurants that can support local rent in independently
It's
owned
really
buildings,
sad.
Yeah.
especially on the side of town that we're on.
There were like 3 or so local amazing restaurants that have recently
phenomenal restaurants that just shut down on
Yeah.
us. And we went to every single one of them, and we walked out and went, I mean, this is good stuff.
Yeah.
You know, this is what customers are asking for.
Right.
The economics behind
Yeah.
2 or 3 of these businesses. That's what the question that went through my brain was, well, I need to know more. Why in the world 2 phenomenal chefs right up the road from us that we know can put amazing food on a plate and provide an experience, and they were shutting their doors.
Yeah. This is the stuff I love. It's the macroeconomic big picture, what's going on. I can talk about this stuff all day. Don't ask me about P&Ls, though. I'm not going to lie. I'm not I will ask you questions
That's why
about
we
your
have
P&Ls.
Cerboni.
I have to learn. Yeah, exactly.
So, and that's why I run the P&L. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's we are in a time right now. I love history increasingly. I wish I loved history when I was in high school. But we are in a time right now, and during the end of the last industrial age, where when that came to a screeching halt, like what built it was the factories that built up a lot of the cities across America. All these cities that were on rivers, like your sea level cities, not like Houston's an A level, New York's an A level, Los Angeles is an A level, but your B and C level cities, those were factories. Those were the industrial
Steel workers.
age.
Yeah.
Exactly. And when we left the industrial age, and all the opportunity dried up across America, everybody was forced to go to your Bostons, your New Yorks, your Houstons, your Dallases, your all the A's, wherever the biggest airports are, those places, right? But that swing happened, and I think it's pretty obvious right now that the swing is going in the other direction. And if you're in Houston, it's probably not good news, but the opportunities now are in the B and C cities because people are exiting the big cities to go find more affordable or spreading out.
Right.
And the pandemic really exposed that and expedited it.
Right.
Because it was the worst place to be during a pandemic was in a city, right? So we spread out. But I think it's good because we needed to spread out because everything was getting too expensive in the cities.
Right. And we see that opportunity as a business owner to go to those suburbs. And he said, there's plenty of them.
But when we do it the next time around,
right?
Can we be a little bit more intentional about how we lay out these neighborhoods?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
So back to your story. So you guys open your 2014. You open Relish Restaurant and Bar.
Yes, 2016.
Was it 16?
2016.
Oh, thank you.
It took about a year and a half of construction.
Got it. So 2016. So not that only 9 years ago, right?
Yeah, we just celebrated our 9
Congratulations.
year.
Yeah. That's awesome. What has the evolution been for you guys? I mean, was it the same story with this location? Did you have to go get financing, or were you able to raise money without?
So
going
the
to
original was personal financing. The second one, when we moved, we went to a bank.
Well, now
and
you have a
got
track
loan.
record.
Yeah.
Yes.
You could get money.
Right.
So
right.
we went to a bank, got a loan for that one,
Yes.
which we're
How
proud
much
to
did you
say.
need?
How much did we need?
Yeah.
It's about $1.5 million.
And you were proud to say what?
It's all debt free, and we've paid it all
Well,
back.
Well,
yeah.
Congratulations. How
Yeah.
long did that take?
5 years.
Yeah.
That's a good
5, 6
mark.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what has your what were your challenges getting that first location over? You
God, what
mentioned
weren't
parking.
they?
I mean, challenges, picking the wrong
It's just
contractor. I mean,
No.
having the right team. The challenge with that one was timing. For instance, we just built a restaurant. It was done in 5 months from ground up. That business was slapping lipstick on a pig. It took us a year and a half. So financially, that almost cracked us.
Yeah.
Because we were paying rent while paying construction.
Well, then having to start paying our loan back. I mean, it was
Call
that
about
was
$1.5 million, $1.7 million. I mean,
was hard.
40% of that was keeping it up to date on rent just to get the doors open. That's the lesson we learned assuming a lease, because you assume to start paying rent right away.
Yeah.
That process, once again, that was a big economic learning curve for us on, the details of a lease, and then once again, how does this all economically work from the financial side? And I would say that was the biggest hurdle of we were screaming at a contractor going, we need the doors open.
Yeah.
You are bleeding us dry.
Yeah.
And we're about to lose this thing. And so I would think that was a big part of it at the beginning.
Yeah. What was your rent? Do you know was there a number, percentage?
Originally,
So no, we don't pay percentage rent on anything.
No, I meant was there like
yes.
a target percent? Like when you're trying to
8%
for sales?
occupancy. So it's 8% occupancy costs or less.
Okay.
So when you factor in what the landlord tells you can only be 8% of your monthly
right, you
sales.
got your pro forma. This is what we're projecting,
Yeah.
and you want it to be 8% or less.
Correct.
I've
Yes.
heard 7 is a really good target to hit.
Yes.
If you're
Great.
7, awesome. If you
Yeah.
can get it lower than that,
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Correct.
Jason Carrier, another Sorboni. Do you know Jason? He's doing like 6.5 million in total
Yep.
revenue with a 3%.
Yeah. I think we're at
Rent.
4
What's
point.
his
I'll give
concept,
you
do you know?
occupancy
Mama
costs.
Betty's, Mexican, kind of similar.
Okay, Mexican restaurant. Yeah, they are-
You got the volume. Those people
Absolutely.
love their margaritas. That's
And-
why everyone's
and-
got diabetes.
Yeah.
Our
Hey,
total
guilty as charged.
Our total
Although
year to date
a really good margarita shouldn't have sugar.
Right.
year to date occupancy costs in our new concept is 4.3%.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
that means we won, the landlord did not.
Well,
Right. More
Because-
landlords to lose, if I'm being
Well,
honest.
and once again, and they politely send out the email and go, boy, did we call that one wrong.
Yeah.
As in, we went in and said, these are the numbers we're willing
but
to pay.
they have to understand.
And we knew, of course, if we blew those out of the water, we benefit from it.
First thing
and
I'll
not
say
the
is
landlord.
we absolutely love our landlord that we have right now. Our new landlord, he's incredible.
Oh, incredible man.
But
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you're fine.
I'm making a mental note because I think something needs to happen. I want to make sure it happens.
I just wanted to say I don't think that they're losing, and I think that more landlords need to realize, and I think he did too. If you want local operators, if you want to support the community, and you don't want another, I hate to say it, Fox Group restaurant coming in who has that kind of money to spend, you're gonna have to give a little bit. Like you can't charge what they're. I mean, they're just
you can't
not,
hit home runs on every lease.
No,
and that's what we look
and
at.
He saw an opportunity to have us, and I think we saw an opportunity to be where I think it was a wonderful partnership. Yeah,
absolutely.
And it keeps the money local.
that's
which is
what
really
I'm
important.
saying. So he
Yeah.
really wanted a local operator, and I think that speaks
Yeah.
volumes of him and what they're trying to do.
I was
And
ma-
you-
yeah, go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead. And you mentioned the money in local. That's why we do it. We talk all the time about payroll. To some people, the payroll, it's hard to deal with. I love seeing the big numbers because I know how much of that I'm stuffing back into the local economy that's
Yeah.
around me.
Yeah.
And
all
paying
the
these people
employees
really well.
and 125 employees. Even this business out here this year is going to do over $1 million in tip pool.
Yeah.
That makes us tick because
I love
that's the
that.
number
Yeah.
we look at and go, that we could care less about anything else other than the community that we've built, whether it's our employees or those around us that come in on a regular basis and say, hey, thank you. I can't tell you how many people said thank you for doing this and what you do so we can come in and, of course, experience a night out. That means more to us. Once again, what we set out to do was create an experience. That feels good.
Yeah, and I say it all the time. My mission statement is to inspire, empower, and transform the industry, but my purpose is to change the world by empowering and transforming the restaurant industry. Because I do think, to your point, if we can get restaurant owners to start thinking differently, to reconnect with what it means to be a restaurant, why restaurants existed in the first place, to be transformative, to be the hub of a community, to lift people up, to provide opportunity. That's what it's all about. And if we can convince restaurant owners of this, and that becomes the purpose of restaurant owners, and that changes communities.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And that's the power.
Yeah, and we've lost a little bit of that, I think, in the industry.
Yeah.
There's a lot of vanity in our industry.
I think it was out of survival, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Once again, a lot are doing it for all the wrong reasons. If we can get them back to do it and nurture a soul,
Yeah.
through food and hospitality, that's what you're trying to do.
people, just
Yeah,
trying to make
it's
a business.
yeah. This is
It's more than that.
The thing that I had to stop and look at my phone for, what I was doing was I said, lease/rent negotiation masterclass is what I wrote down. Because
yeah.
I want to collaborate with a lawyer or like if you have information, email me because I want to put together a resource. Because that one thing,
It's huge.
if people know how to go to sit at a table and negotiate with their landlords, and if we start sharing this information, we all win.
Yeah, agree.
I would love for you to talk to our real estate agent, who I will tell you,
He's awesome.
Let's make it happen.
he's an amazing man, and he's been in Houston for a really long time. And once again, he works for his clients. And
his
that
name?
occupancy cost that we talked about, that's 100% him fighting
Can we share his
to
name?
get a
Yeah.
number. Yes, his name is Greg Lewis. Lewis Company
Look out, Greg. I'm
Properties.
coming after you, man.
Greg, we're coming to you.
Yeah, let's make that happen. I'd love to make that happen.
I would mention that was the person I sent the picture to earlier because he called me.
No, that's again building your team, and when you find people like that are on your side and truly want you to succeed and believe in you, and that to me is the biggest one of the biggest pieces of what you do.
There's the real estate agent that puts you in a space because they need to pay their bills. And then there's the real estate agent that puts you in the space because they know it'll work.
That's yeah.
They know this will work. There are a lot in between. And once again, you have to get in with somebody that's not just thinking of how much they get to take from
But
this.
it's also
They
an
have
art
to-
form.
But they have to also think of what my client will lose if this doesn't work out.
Right.
So to me,
it's a lot.
It's conscious capitalism.
Yeah.
and they're kind of consultants,
Yeah.
and they don't have to live with the consequences. But
Yeah.
they can tell us what to do all they want.
Right.
So you have to trust that consultant or that real estate agent that you are not just thinking about the bottom line, how much you're going to make off of this.
Yeah.
It's the details in between and what I lose if it doesn't work.
Right. Your reputation.
And I mean,
And that's business is all about relationships.
yes.
Yeah.
And once again, banking, this world, if you're doing it our way, which is not private investors just chunking money at us, we're going to banks, we're showing them financial projections and P&Ls and business plans that work. You get one shot in that world.
Yeah.
And if you screw it up, you'll never get back in it again.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially us. We fund through the SBA. We love that.
It was a really
there's a resource out there to fund our future and our entrepreneurial, mindsets, and we don't have to answer to anybody for it. And we still own 100% of our concepts. We haven't bought into the guy who walks in the door with a bunch of money and said, "Let's do this." No, thank you. And we have dozens and dozens of them all the time. So we've turned down many of people that have said, "Hey, we would love to work with you." We love working with ourselves and with people that we trust.
If the right person comes along, not saying we wouldn't.
Oh, and of course, but once again,
right, it's just not.
Do we
been
want 25 of these
Right.
and to lose
No.
who Relish really is just to make some more money? No.
Yeah.
We want to keep our brand is everything to us, and so every decision we make is based around.
So is that
the
what is
future of the
vision?
brand?
What is the vision? Let me ask you that.
You mean in future, kind of just like
Yeah, like so. It's been 9 years since opening your first. In 2024, you opened your second. Congratulations! You have 2 Relish Restaurant and Bars right now. What's the vision? What's the goal?
Restaurant owners, what if I told you there was a way to lower your prime cost by $1,000 month over month and get paid $1,000? That sounds like a deal too good to be true, but that's exactly the deal that Restaurant Systems Pro is offering 10 of my lucky listeners. So why are they doing this? Because they consistently help their clients get between 15 and 25% profit in their business. And when they approach new clients and say, I can do the same thing for you, they get met with a lot of resistance. And because it sounds too good to be true, most restaurants think if you do between 5 and 10%, you're doing good. So to hit 15 or 25%, like what do we have to sacrifice? What scam are you throwing at me, sir? No, thank you. But the truth is they really do help people hit these numbers. And the way they do it is by having all the most important systems that are tied to profitability fully integrated into an enterprise solution. I'm talking like accounting, inventory, scheduling, checklists, training systems, general ledger, balance sheets, costing cards. So when you have all those systems dialed in, ironclad, tied, connected, fully integrated in an enterprise solution, you get data. And when you have data, you can make little tweaks here and there. And those little tweaks, you can see the fruits of your labor, the effects of your efforts. And that's how you hit 15 and 25% profit. And on top of all this, they also have support, which is unheard of in today's age. So you get all these things compounded that help you hit that 15 to 25%. And if I have your attention, keep listening. Join the Restaurant Systems Pro 30-day Prime Cost Challenge, and if you successfully improve your Prime Cost by $1,000 or more compared to the same 30-day period last year, they will pay you $1,000. If you're listening on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, find the show notes, and we will have a link titled Restaurant Systems Pro 30-day Prime Cost Challenge. Click that link and get signed up today. Only 10 spots, guys. Do not wait. Get your spot, lower your prime costs by $1,000 and get paid that $1,000. They're actually calling this a reverse guarantee. Get on it.
Or vision. I think we both love Relish and potentially could open up, maybe a couple more of them. But I also think we see opportunity for other concepts at some point. We both love opening restaurants.
20 years from now, you guys are in your 30s, right? Good close. No, you're my age.
I'm 41.
Yeah, 41. Okay, so
39 as of 2 days ago.
Yeah, you're at that point where you got about 20 years of this of being operators. What's the vision? What's the point you want to reach? What does that look like? What is your future?
Do you?
I mean, so a big part of the reason we run our business and chose to take a chance and do what we've done is for our family and our kids. So as long as our kids can go to school and, have a good start in life and are
safe, secure, happy,
all the good things, really, those, minus, I think we're addicted to, not addicted, but we love the process of opening them because we see how many lives it changes and it touches. So that's the addiction I think that we'll both continue on if we
creating opportunity for others.
Yeah,
we stop our visions and goals, everyone else's stops as well.
So
and
what is the vision in terms? So you shared your personal vision and goal to have safety, security, and that's what really matters to you. If you can do that, then who cares what happens? But
exactly,
perfect world. Your vision for what is there an overarching LLC? There's a holding company.
Yeah, so we operate under Fine Foods Hospitality. That's our hospitality group.
So what is the vision for Fine Foods Hospitality in the perfect world? Is there a scale you want to hit, a number you want to hit?
I think embedded into our community with multiple different concepts that once again touch and change as many lives as they can, whether it's a employee or whether it's a customer.
I think it's a slow process, though. We have not rushed ourselves in this, and that's we are potentially now having to move our original location here in a couple years as our lease is up there, and
next year is the 10-year.
Yeah, so we're kind of ready for that. So that's a big move for us, and then we are open to opening. Like we said, we don't want to do too many because we want to be. Where it's important to us to be very rooted and involved in each location. So that's hard as you open more, but I think potentially opening, if there's some opportunity there to open another one or two, that would be nice. We've had ideas for some other
we
fun
wanted
concepts.
To do 20 of them. And then you get into it and you go, it becomes very impersonable when you do that type of stuff and you get that big.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You want to have more?
Now, once again, if Johnny Caraba wants to build 20 of them, we'll
do it. But the way he did it, again, he
we want ours like you,
but he still
and we
has
want to
his
keep the integrity behind it.
That he can call his
and
own.
And they've never let go.
And
they still do it the same way every time you walk in.
That's the way to do it.
The Carabas across America might crash, but at the end of the day, he's still doing what he started back home.
And everyone loves his product here. So to me, again, if that was a perfect world and you really asked us what that goal, absolutely.
Another masterclass. Yeah. How to negotiate with capital investors to retain your integrity and brand.
Well, we've talked
once again,
about
I'm a self-taught guy. Masterclass has been a big part of.
Yeah. So we need this.
That I love that you say that because once again, negotiation is.
Ask me what my vision is.
Yeah. Keep going.
Well, and I pause for a second because we might need another 2-hour podcast for my. Wild vision in my brain, but once again, we want to keep touching lives, and that
part
means
of the community here.
That means more to us. I've been in a TSA line and don't even know who this person is, and they say, "I love your restaurant."
Oh, that's awesome.
That means more than me.
That's hospitality.
That's hospitality.
That's being
exactly.
seen.
Mm-hmm.
That is, and I've explained it to. We're like.
So that's not hospitality. That's gratitude.
Yeah.
And hospitality and gratitude is a love dance.
Oh, exactly.
You know, I think that that's where the consumer kind of has lost their way. They have lost graciousness.
Yeah.
And I think it has to be a two-way street.
Exactly.
Yeah. Did I cut you short?
No,
apologize.
but I like that point.
Yeah.
I agree with that very much. So.
I wish we could talk more on the two-way street too.
Yeah. But we are very lucky. We have, I would say, 98% of our guests and the people that come in our door love them, you know.
Yeah. We're embedded into them.
Yeah.
Even too much to where it hurts.
I know we've attended funerals and been a part of baby showers and weddings, and you know, I feel like you become a part of these people's lives in a way.
Even the Kerrville floods that just took place, we knew so much that was touched to that, and even our regulars losing their grandchildren, and you know,
being able to give back through feeding people.
Yes, exactly. And as soon as the connection is lost between us and once again our customer to a point where we don't feel those like a human should.
Yeah.
We've lost what we're supposed to be doing.
We are the most connected and disconnected we've ever been. And I think the restaurant industry reconnects people in the way we're meant to be connected. And
we're holding this country together.
There's a reason why I drive across the country and I do my interviews in person.
Yes.
And it's because I can't get the same level of connection with my guests if I'm doing it over a computer.
No,
there's magic that happens when you come together and you sit at a table and you eat. Sometimes there's food, which is great.
Yeah.
I don't ever expect the food. Thank you, Cervoni. But to sit what food does is it brings people together.
Absolutely.
So you can talk. You know, are you familiar with Zingerman's Delicatessen? Zingerman's Community of Business. What you're describing is what has happened with why am I drawing a blank right now? Ari Weinswag and what they have built in Zingerman's. There's a series of books out there from Ari. A lapsed anarchist's approach to building a great business is what he started it with. And there's like that, you know, that title, lapsed anarchist approach to building a great business, becoming a great leader, leading oneself. There's a whole series of short essays that he's written. And what they did in his whole approach to the Zingerman's Community of Business, I think we think of scale, we think of growth, we think out, lateral. But what he's doing in his approach is no, growth doesn't have to be lateral, it can be deep. You can go deeper into a community. You can take your values, your business philosophy, and you can put that into your community and create opportunity and say that this is how we do business. And we started with a delicatessen and it was amazing. And your thing's candy. You want to be a candy place, or your things, you want to have a roadhouse, a restaurant? Oh, you want to have a coffee shop? Well, you're now a partner of our community of business, and we're going to take our business ethos, and we're going to teach you how to do this. We're gonna give you our values. You can use our values because we have a proven method, and it's just coming together and creating opportunity for others and bankrolling and having a part of that. That's other people's success. When you create success for other people, you win too.
Absolutely.
It's a win-win.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what Zingerman's Delicatessen, Zingerman's Community of Business has done in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I highly recommend.
Absolutely.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah. They teach stuff too. They have courses.
I love that.
I think that's one thing the industry we should probably do a little more of is, once again, reaching out and helping teach others, if that makes sense. And it's not just technique and food and the craftsmanship behind it. It's
why he's here.
Exactly. Well, no, the P&L, the business side.
Oh, right.
We all get taught the other stuff. You got to do all that research yourself. And then we all, once again, I'm running a good P&L because I saw a good P&L and how it was run. I wouldn't be in that situation unless I had that good example and I had a person teaching me. Now, I won't tell you who it is because his job would be on the line. If moral of the story, I had a good mentor that was taking a P&L and looking at it and showing me and saying, this is how you do things.
I just want to make sure that I understood that. If it got out that this person, who will remain anonymous, that you were sharing information about how to run a business, but because he was teaching you how to read a P&L, he would lose his job?
So, yes, with this group, I would say
And this is
only certain people
It's
are
just only a
supposed to
certain
see
group.
those numbers.
Can we cut it and I'll tell you who it is?
Don't tell me who it is. We'll keep it in
Okay.
here because I don't want to. You can
Yeah.
tell me afterwards. I
Yeah.
don't want to
Perfect.
get people. in
Anyway,
trouble.
yes, and exactly. Once again, really big
Yeah.
group.
But this
And a
is-
person
yeah.
with that who said, listen, I know what you're doing,
see, that's-
and I'm going to
yeah.
teach you how this should be. And I'm thankful for him. But you're right. We shouldn't have to, once again, unload people because they're trying to push the industry forward. We should open that door, if you ask me.
And I love. Do you guys practice open book management?
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
again, Ari Weinswag, Zingerman's Delicatessen, a huge proponent of open book management and sharing all the numbers.
Yeah.
Down to the bottom line.
Yeah.
I think it's super important.
Transparent
Even
to an
for
extent, yes.
For your servers. I mean, for everybody to see that, though, because I also do think that there's like this element that people think they see how many people you're serving and they think, oh my God, you must
You're
be just
rich.
rolling in the dough. And you're like, no.
Yeah.
Do you want to see how many things that we have to pay this month just to keep the lights on, especially right now? And like I think my dad always taught me, like, you take $1 and you show them, okay, we taught this $1. This is how much we're taking from that, and you should, and really break it down.
And then you
so
stop
that
14 cents in front of
Yeah.
them and go,
Yeah.
you see why we
Yeah.
do this?
There's 100 pennies on this table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
And
let's
they'll
take. Let's take 32 of those pennies, put them over here.
Right.
Let's take, what do you say, 38?
28,
Let's put them over
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Oh, there's 8% for rent. Oh, and then there's taxes. Oh, and all the other expenses. And then you're left with 15 pennies.
Right.
If you're doing great.
if you're doing great.
You're
doing
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And so anyways, I do think that that's important because again, people think that this is like a very lucrative, and it can be, industry for certain people, but that's not what it's about. And that's really, like, if you want to get in this to make a boatload of money, I think you're in the wrong industry.
Right. And you can. I think
Yes.
the message I want to get out is you can do phenomenally well.
Yes.
If you have the mindset that it's not about me, it's about everybody else.
Correct.
Exactly.
And if you take your ability, your knowledge, and you give it away more, if the better you serve, the better you give, the more you give, the more likely you are to get
Yes.
what your dreams will come true. Like, and if you spread it out, we go further together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm a huge proponent for, or advocate for, open book management. I think
Yeah.
that what you said is transparency,
Yes.
or vulnerability. What was the word you used?
Transparency, because
Yeah.
you want your employees to know how successful they've contributed to.
Yeah.
You want them to know that your business is debt free, and we talk about our number one asset, and it's our employees. We don't care about anything else. Well, we care about everything
What's
else
the
in the
word
building.
behind you right now?
Teamwork.
Yeah.
Once
You need your
again,
team.
Yeah.
you need that to make things happen, and the more you invest into them, honestly, the more you get out of it. But I battled that with the receiving end, taking it the wrong way. Are
Right.
you using it as an opportunity to gloat or brag?
To share your numbers?
Yeah.
So you're talking about the employee will think that, why are you sharing this with me?
No, is that what you're saying?
Well, would they take it the wrong way, as if
Who's they in this scenario?
one? I mean, it could be anybody. It could be your employee. It could be other industry
Public?
operators.
Okay.
It could be
Are you
press.
gloating?
Yes, it could be press.
Rubbing in our face. We're struggling to get, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I've always battled that, but once again, I had no problem with facts.
Well,
and
here's the
talking
thing.
the facts of your business for transparency, or what do you expect to come in return?
Society has a really weird relationship with profit. We're taught that profit is yucky. And I used to feel like this, if I'm being honest with myself. I was like, it's not about profit. No, it's not about profit.
Yeah.
But fiscal responsibility is a huge part of being successful.
Right.
And it's not how much profit can we get, it's what can you do with that profit.
Absolutely.
Especially if you are using someone else's money.
Profit's meant for two things,
Yeah.
and two
Yeah.
things only: to pay off debt and to invest in assets.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
I think restaurant owners, do you guys give yourself owner's pay?
We pay ourselves a salary. Anything that's made off the business is never touched.
Right. And I think when most people hear this, when we're talking about profit, they're thinking, oh, that's what you take home. No.
Oh God.
No.
Yeah.
Profit pays off debt, i.e. that's how you got your debt, your loan paid off in 5 years, because all the profit was going to paying off your debt.
Exactly.
And the other, once you pay off debt, profit goes to assets.
Yes.
Buying net assets defined as something that makes you money.
Expanding, exactly.
And using your profit to create opportunity for other people, acquiring assets, and then giving other people opportunity to manage those assets, and maybe become a partner in that thing.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
And that's how you scale. And then it compounds.
Exactly.
Then you can take maybe that thing that you invested in, you're only getting 8% of profit.
Yeah.
You know? And they're getting whatever that would be, 7%.
Yes, exactly.
But guess what? You're not losing 7%.
Right.
You're getting access to 7% that you would never had access to otherwise because
Exactly.
you can't do it alone.
Yes.
And then you do it again. Now you have 3 locations, but now you're making twice as much profit.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
And then now more resources, more profit, more opportunity. And that's how you scale a business.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to talk. I mean, so where are you today? Paint the picture of where you are today in terms of what's next for you. And I like to use this analogy of shifting gears. Like you guys are ramping up right now. If 6 Gear is 20 years from now and you have 10 restaurants, different concepts, providing opportunity for different people in your community, that's 6 Gear. Where would you say you are now? What gear are you in?
I mean, 2 restaurants, I'd say gear number 2.
Or I'll give you
and
credit.
you-
I'll say 3.
I say 3.
Yeah.
You're in 3 and you're getting
Yeah.
ready to scale to 10, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And you mentioned where you at in 20 years, done with that process, you know. And
Exit strategy.
Exit strategy, restaurants
And
in
that starts
my
now.
eyes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, really
It
does.
starts
Yeah.
today so we can exit in 20 years.
That's gear 6 out.
Yes.
So gear 5
We-
is
Yes. Like you're full throttle.
you're going
yeah.
into 4th to
Yeah.
prepare for 5, and 6 is out.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And once again, what is 6 and out? Still providing and still in the industry, but in our own ways.
Barbecue joint in the middle of nowhere in Texas.
Cannot wait. My vision is
Now you're cooking for. Now you're doing what you want.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you're.
I
Doing
can
now,
shut
but-
it down when I
yeah.
want. I can
You're not doing it for the money. You're doing it for the
No,
pure
no.
love. The money's been taken care of.
Correct.
pure love of Texas, all the woods that come with it, and food that I've been eating my whole life here.
So 2 restaurants. What is your organizational structure today? Like, what are your lanes? Like, what you guys are the co-owners. You have titles beyond owner.
So I'm the director of the operations. She is somewhat in that role, but I'll let you.
I'm more behind the scenes. I would say I'm not there day to day doing operations, but I help oversee. Now we have Sorboni, but I help with accounting, marketing, advertising,
Working on the business.
working
On
on
the business every day.
Both of you, COOs, on the business too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're in the weeds, but you're tweaking. You're taking the data from that you're getting with. I mean, we'll get into that from your technology. I'm assuming you're using technology. You're using systems. You're collecting data, and you're saying, okay, I have all this data. How do we move the needle on this scorecard? How do we play better? That's your role, and your role is.
I mean, I'm
The administrative, making sure, like for instance, we own and we're back in our commissary, and our structure is run through an HR department. We have Sorboni running this, and then we have a commissary that's producing for both locations. We have a pastry chef who is there who runs that particular kitchen, but that's where we show up on a daily basis. That's kind of our corporate hub that we've built.
I make sure everything's kind of humming in the background. I mean, it's a lot keeping up with a lot of the
100%.
administrative.
Permits,
That's
insurance. I mean, it's
making sure the health insurance for the employees.
she
is
hates
set.
the word HR, but she is a big HR proponent
it's
of our
huge.
business.
And yes, so and even helping making sure our we're going to do holiday cookie boxes this year. You know, getting the flyers done, photography,
Marketing.
I
all
would say
of
the
that.
brand. She is pushing the brand forward, and the brand itself has so many inner pieces that you have to adjust on a regular basis.
COO, CMO, PO, Chief People Officer.
Uh-huh. for sure.
That's huge.
Yeah.
So your assets all combined in terms of physical, tangible brick and mortar assets, 2 restaurants and a commissary. And in the restaurants, do you have general managers, assistant managers? Like, what does that look like?
We have general managers. Excuse me. We have maitre d's. That would be our number 2. And then we have what we refer to as captains. Those are
Assistant managers? Leads?
Leads. They're high-paid hourly leads.
Direct report to the maitre d'?
Yes, and score the highest level of a tip pool. Our entire company is tip pooled, hierarchy system, tenure, skill set, loyalty. I mean, all of it's involved.
I love that you mentioned that because I made a note to come back to tipping. What are you using to manage those tip pools?
We use Toast for POS, and we use their Toast tip pool. Excuse me.
Got it.
And we've customized it
With the
to
point
fit
system.
the point system that match each and every employee's position.
So how does that point system work?
So a hierarchy between 0.5 and 1.2. Trainees, we hold our team accountable through the point system, and the point system shows where they are through our training.
And that scale is 0.5 to 1.2?
1.2. 1.2 is the highest tip pool you can pull, which is a captain. A 1.1 would be a junior captain. 1.0 means you've made it to the top of the tip pool as a server. To come in my restaurant, you've got to start at 0.7. It's not negotiable.
How do you scale from 0.7 to 0.1? Or 1.0?
Evaluations, and really, just evaluating the employee, training. Are they receptive to it?
Is there a certain amount of like checkpoints or hey, if you want to get from 0.5 to 0.6, then here's a curriculum for you to take these classes to pass these tests.
Yes.
And you can do that on your own time. You can do that in a week if you want to
We
go
definitely
from
have,
point.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes. And so we set them down, put them through that process, and if they grade well, you bump up. You grade well, you bump up. And we feel that, of course, running a system the opposite in the past, this was New York. This was really a big proponent of Houston's. The concept.
Did you work at Houston's?
We didn't, but
we both really
believe it or not,
their concept.
When we built Houston's and they asked us, what are you building? We want to be the Houston's of the neighborhood. Still personable, and we're not going to tell you no, we don't have lemonade when there's lemons in the back.
Right. Get a little sugar, throw a little, yeah.
We're going to make you lemonade.
Yeah.
But we're going to do it Houston's way, which is fast, efficient. You know what you're going to get when you come through the door.
It's a well-oiled machine.
It's a tight ship. And so
I've had people on the show that come from that world.
Really?
Yeah.
we want to run it the exact same way.
Things to say or bad things?
It depends.
Both.
Yeah. Once again, they're very cutthroat. They will take your tip pool system and bring it down because of the starch on your collar.
Yeah.
Now, are we a little more kind to our people?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But the mentality of understanding, guys, we maintain standards, and we don't allow those to come in and question them, nor steer them in whatever direction they choose to. Houston's is great with that, with understanding that you can't let employees come in and do what they want. You have to make sure that they're following the criteria of what you've asked them to do.
Right.
Got it.
And of course, doing it in a very respectful way.
I had Chris Florzak on the show. I wanted to, if you want to check out,
Okay,
he's the CEO of Rise Souffle in Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
He was a phenomenal interview.
Okay.
He came up in that world.
Okay.
Houston's world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I might
Yeah.
be getting I talk to a lot of people.
I know,
might
I'm
be
sure.
getting my
Yeah.
storylines crossed.
Yeah.
So what about same thing? So now we know that you have a tip pooling scale from 0.5 to 1.2, and as you're moving up that ladder, I think when you clear 1.0, you get to a
Captain status, which then allows you to get a higher hourly rate than just your normal server rate.
Maitre d' is essentially
That is a salaried position.
salary position. And
Salary-
they also get tips out?
Not in our scenario. We pay a high salary to them. We only have 2 FOH salaried employees. That's a GM and a maitre d'.
Okay, got it. And what about back of house? What does that look like? Kitchen manager?
So I'm director of operations, but I'm also still the executive chef of menus and all food.
Got it.
In both locations, I have CDCs who oversee the cuisine and everything that's there. And then there are junior sous, got one kitchen manager who's a prep guy, or actually two. So we probably have 12, 15 salaried employees that all kind of fit within that realm of things.
Got it. What about tech stack? Now that we know organizational structure and what that looks like, what does your tech stack look like? You mentioned Toast. You're using Toast tip pool. What else?
Honestly, we keep it to Open Tables, our reservation platform. And honestly, we keep it pretty simple past that. Not much overhead as far as this and this.
Mostly everything is Toast at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Extra Chef.
What is that? So for your accounting, Extra Chef, what about General Ledger? Are you using QuickBooks?
So Cerboni uses R365.
Okay.
Which is the best, yes.
Yeah.
That's why we switched to Cerboni, because they offer that, and we...
So much
So
more.
you
Yeah.
use R365.
No.
They're managing it.
No,
No.
they do it on there, and they do full accounting for us there.
How does that work, though? So
We ship-
So you don't pay for Restaurant 365, or do they just bill you for it?
I believe that we have some payment structure for them. I can't
For the
remember how that-
365.
or
I forget how it
something like
goes.
that.
But
I mean,
yes.
in my mind, what I would do is they would build a restaurant for you within their system. They might have their own accounts,
Right.
And then within their account, they have this restaurant that we manage, and then they give you that information.
Correct.
So with R365, are you using inventory management, labor management, any of those tools?
So no, that's why we
use
use
through Toast.
The Toast and Extra Chef.
Got it. So it's a real custom approach to you're using their license to, and they're managing
for the accounting
Got it.
side of things.
Got it. Interesting.
And then for the inventory and everything else, that's where the Extra Chef that integrates with Toast. We liked that they all integrate together.
Got it.
And I think R365 does integrate with Toast, but for us to then switch over our whole inventory platform and recipe and all of that, it
That's
would have
right.
been
Yeah.
a lot of money and time and energy that we just...
So you're okay. So how does that work? Because in my mind, these enterprise, I would call Restaurant 365 a enterprise solution, which is your one-stop shop for pretty much all of your profitability systems: inventory, costing, purchasing, labor management. Training could be on there. General ledger.
Yeah, we don't...
All the things, but when that's tied to your POS and the information flows, it seems to hit a little bit harder.
So we had the opportunity to do that. It wasn't necessary after talking to Cerboni because we have been set up on Toast for many years. We just switched to Cerboni 6 months ago.
Okay.
And so to switch over again, like everything that we've been doing on Toast and Extra Chef, it wasn't a necessary step for us.
And to be honest, we're still a little old school, and we like it that way. Not everything has gone, kind of digital platform with everything we do. I mean, ordering and receiving.
We have our own systems there.
Yeah,
but
we've
yes.
got our own systems and kind of the way that we do that.
And they actually work with Toast here at Cerboni, and they help upload all of our invoices to Extra Chef, and that is
That's the most important
yes
portion for us. 'Cause
for tracking.
That's what we want to track, invoices and anything that hits the door. We want our eyes on it, and this has allowed us to do so.
So you switched to Cerboni in the past 6 months. How did you why make that move? What was Cerboni in your eyes? How did you discover them?
So we needed change and more information. And for instance, you mentioned QuickBooks versus 365. I mean, I feel like
our old accounting firm used QuickBooks, and we just didn't feel
we
like
just felt it was outdated. It wasn't up to speed with
It wasn't
what
built for restaurants.
It wasn't.
No,
it's not.
No, and so the details, the metrics. I mean, everything that we're able to get out of it, it was a no-brainer for us. With really the scale of the restaurant we just built and what we're about to do again, and the scale of that one. Once again, we looked at it as if this was great for the little commissary storefront that we have. We needed a bigger firm to get more control and more eyes of the control of the business itself. And
running the restaurant, doing what we do on a day to we're not accounting. Like that is not for us.
Yeah.
That's not what we're good at.
Right.
So having a firm like this has been instrumental, I think, in being able to really monitor really detailed our business. I mean, we were watching it obviously, but now it's really, that has been very helpful.
What is Serboni in one word to your one sentence?
I think
Peace of mind.
peace of mind is great, but I would say the reason we made the switch was because of integrity. We needed more integrity behind what was in front of us and we couldn't, once again, we didn't believe, you're telling me it's this, but I'm looking at this, and once again, what's going on here? It doesn't make sense.
I don't think it's integrity. It was just, again, I don't think their systems, and they were not restaurant savvy.
When you think
Knowing
of integrity,
the numbers are
it's like,
correct.
here's this piece of paper, right?
Yeah.
It has some integrity, but you're telling me, but it's not like rigid, like it's not solid. It's not
Correct.
It is not a tablet that was etched in stone where you were sure what you were putting on this because we cannot change
Correct.
it.
Exactly.
I think that's how I interpret
Absolutely.
it.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Not the quality of the
Yes.
people.
No.
Great people,
Yes.
great firm, but once again,
It was just
trusting what they're telling you. I mean, accountants, they're up there with your attorneys and the lease that you sign. They can really make or break you.
I do think that the future of the restaurant industry is in fractional chiefs, whether that be a fractional CFO or a fractional CMO or a fractional people officer or human resources chief or whatever. It is. The world is becoming increasingly complex. What worked 20 years ago doesn't work today. You need granular, detailed data to make decisions in your business and to move the needle and to be tight. And that world is moving at such a breakneck speed right now. And you didn't get into the restaurant industry to play with technology and to be accountants and to be chief financial officers. You want to work in your community and give people in your community opportunity and be creative and love your community. And when you're being pulled and being forced to stare at a computer screen all day and crunch numbers and stay up to date with the latest and greatest technology, like that is a full-time job on its own. And to hire a chief operating officer or a chief financial officer, that's a 6-figure salary.
Yeah.
You as an independent operator can't afford that.
No.
And it is, I think, the world of fractional CFOs CFOs is the future of the industry because it is more than any single operator can manage on their own.
Absolutely.
And not to mention they don't want to do it. So you shouldn't have to.
Ours starts in July or March.
For what?
Once again, the marginal person that does a little bit of everything, but you need them in-house, if that's what you're trying to say.
Oh, no, but the CFO is, like the CFO services that they do.
Yes, and I get that.
Yeah.
So I've been told that like a bookkeeper looks to the past.
Exactly.
And a CFO looks to the future.
Absolutely.
They take the data from the past and they
Right.
project and give you a strategy using numbers.
One thing
going
we signed up for here, and it's incredible.
Yeah.
The just detail.
Right.
And
Once again, we need guidance, not the answer to the math problem that you
Right.
just did. You want
somebody who loves it and passionate, and taxes too.
Right.
That's what you also
Huge.
get.
You don't want to mess with the
Joshua a little
government.
credit.
oh my gosh,
Yeah.
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was something that was another concern for the switch. Once again, integrity, were the numbers what they were, and then once again, you don't want to get in trouble with the tax man with that type of stuff. So
And
were we doing things correctly? Were they protecting us as a brand? That was very important for us because we
it's important.
once again, we were noticing things, and we're glad we made the moves.
What's been the biggest shift
Since
making the move?
I honestly feel it was so stressful with the other firm. And again, not that I don't want to trash talk them, but they were late on payments, and I was constantly having to talk to vendors, and it wasn't us that
They were taking you away from what you're paying them to
Right.
manage. You couldn't do what
Wasting
you
my
wanted to
time.
do
right.
because you're too busy making sure
Well,
the
and
person.
also like I hate not having our vendors paid on time. To me, that is huge.
That is my reputation.
That
that is
is-
my brand.
right.
And
Yeah.
you're messing with my
And-
people.
And it's
I
also
don't like it.
It's
exactly.
also leverage later as you scale to
Absolutely.
get the negotiating power. Like we have I've always paid you on time.
Yeah.
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 Exactly. So then when I call, you're going to treat me with the same respect that I've treated you. And you can't
Right.
have an accounting group deteriorate those relationships when all you're doing is trying to build them.
This is a
And so-
business, and
and to be
the
honest,
books are.
and I'll throw this number out there, when our accounting group, because we know it's not true, they told us that we made $137,000 in a month. I think we'd all be in the restaurant industry if we could make $137K a month.
Yeah.
The moment I saw that, I knew you are out, they are in, and we need a person that we can trust and give us the accurate, true numbers. Because in the history of our business, we've never
That
made
was just for one location at the-
137,000
at the
and
smaller
one
location.
location in
Yeah.
a small location. Looking at them, going, something has to be wrong. Gut feeling as a business owner, and
You need an accountant that specializes in the restaurant industry, not just an accountant, like a CPA, a tax specialist who specializes in the restaurant industry,
Exactly.
who knows restaurant software, because that is a unique beast. Like the days of QuickBooks integrating to your POS are over. You need a built for the restaurant industry general ledger, i.e. a Restaurant Systems Pro or a Restaurant 365
Exactly.
that is fully integrated and has soon to be overlay AI to streamline process, and you can't stay on top of all of that and know what the latest is, and that is where a CFO comes in, a operations person that is specifically focused on financial operations, and it needs to be fractional because you can't afford it at two locations.
absolutely.
And they will bridge the gap.
Yeah.
They will help you get there. I
Absolutely.
think that working with fractional chiefs is the one thing that will change and give the independent restaurant industry hope, because you need the specialists.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And I'll be transparent. Like, Sorboni made this introduction, but Sorboni was also referred to me organically
Right.
by somebody who I never heard of Sorboni before that. And what I'm doing right now, this is the future of Restaurant Unstoppable, where I'm going and I'm looking for clues, and I'm fishing, right? And when I get a bite, and if it's a big fish, I'm reeling that thing in, and I'm putting it on the table. I'm cutting it up. I'm going deeper. I want to learn more,
Right.
Right? Because I think that it's my job to look for the big fish, the game changers.
Yeah.
And this is an intentional partnership, and they've put out some really great guests for me.
Yeah.
Over the past couple of days to learn more, and I want to, just like you guys have your vendors that you have relationships with, the people I'm promoting I want to believe in, and that's what's happening here.
Oh, totally.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Anything we haven't discussed today?
I mean, yeah,
No.
yes, but no.
Anything you want to discuss that's important to you that didn't come out? Any advice that's coming into your head that now's the time to get it out?
I feel like we really touched a lot. I mean, it's a really great industry, and I appreciate what you're doing for
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
So, like you said, it's not just restaurateurs and whatever. It's a team of people. So
I know.
Yeah.
I
Is
want
that
the
word behind you?
yeah,
Teamwork. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the teamwork has to extend beyond
Yeah.
your four walls.
Yeah.
yeah.
For sure.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you gonna say something, Dustin?
I mean, that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
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 So I like to wrap up every conversation by what I say, calling somebody up, but really giving recognition. Who is somebody in this industry, a restaurant owner who's doing it right, who's making money, but also making the world a better place as they do it, that you admire, that you aspire to be like? Who is that for you? What name comes into your head? Shout them out so I can try to get them to be a guest on the show.
I'm trying to, and I'm blanking his name, the Burger Chan guy and his wife.
Oh.
Is it a school bus concept?
No.
No, he has brick and mortars now, but there's a concept, Burger Chan, that we love.
Well, Willett and Diane.
Yes, Willett. Once again, they run their business right. I see both of them back there, just like my wife and myself, trying to make them work. And they're really supportive of the industry, and not just those that they like. I mean, they push the industry, and they support everybody involved. So,
Burger Chan?
yes.
Yeah. Really
Yeah.
quality products.
Great
they have.
stuff.
Yeah.
They were one of the first smash it here in Houston
I love
and make it
smash
unique and good. And there's been plenty to show up since, but they were one of the
OGs.
early birds to that. Yes,
Love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Willett and Diane, look out. I'm coming after you. I'd
Yeah.
love to get you on the show. And how can we connect with you if we really enjoyed today's conversation? Maybe we're in Houston. We want to come check you out. Maybe we're looking for opportunities since you're creating them as we speak.
Absolutely. Well, first come in our doors. We'd love to see you. One of us is usually at one of the locations at all the time, but or you can check our website out, www.relishhouston.com, or email at info@relishhouston.com.
Social handles?
Our Instagram is Relish Restaurant and Bar, and our Facebook is the same.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to share 2 hours with me, to make time to share your story, your knowledge, your perspective, your mentorship. There is no questioning. You are unstoppable.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Pleasure to
Appreciate
be
it
here.
yeah.
Cheers.